Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back to another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Batman vs. Superman, or Batman and Superman vs. Darkseid. And I'll be honest, I mainly got this just for the Darkseid figure itself. The others, in terms of Superman and Batman, I don't really care. I only got it for this one particular right here. So, just letting you know now, so if you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to talk about this one or this one, you're going to be disappointed. I'm not. I'm only going to talk about this one itself. So, as always, I'll be talking about the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to now to support channel, put keep up to date, and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at the box. What the box looks like. The top, the side, which I'm probably going to break stuff. You can see the side right there, Batman logo, and the other side has just Batman. And the bottom itself, here's the barcode for those of you. Now, I'm not too sure this is a Walmart exclusive. It doesn't say Walmart exclusive, but I just found it at Walmart, and this is Spinmasters. Alright, now let's take a look at the figure, Darkseid specifically, outside the box. Unfortunately, it does not come with a card because this is a Spinmasters figure, so what you see is what you get, with no accessories, and no puck stand as well, too. So let's talk about the figure in terms of the articulation. Left, right, pretty loose joint on there, but there's left, right. There is no up, down, which is unfortunate. Shoulder articulation, it's fine. Not a whole lot in terms of the actual shoulder, but forward and back is fine. No bicep articulation. No wrist. Actually, the wrist, mine's a little stiff right here. So there is wrist articulation, just swivel. There is torso swivel, but it does not lean forward and back. And there is no leg articulation and no ankle or toes. So that's pretty much it in terms of the articulation. But then again, this is a Spinmasters, not a McFarlane figure. Now let's talk about the figure itself, and I'll talk about the pricing. So first off, the head sculpture, I gotta give credit though. The paint job looks good. There's some texture to it in terms of his head right here. You get some texture there. Then you got that sculpture design here on Darkseid's mask. You can see right there. You can see what I'm referring to. You got that blue on there. It's kind of like bluish green. Then you got the painted eyes that are red, which looks menacing. You got that grin on there. The painted teeth, which is surprising, as all white teeth because, well, he flosses and brushes his teeth every night. Then you got the painted yellow here on the side of the helmet. And there's the back of it as well too. So the sculpture design for Darkseid is actually good. It reminds me of like a classic looking Darkseid sculpture design or paint. Then you got the arms. The arms are very huge, very muscle toned. Look at that. Huge bicep, tricep, shoulder. You got the same textured feel to it as well too. It is plasticky. And again, for the price that you're paying for this, which I'll talk about in a bit, I mean, it's inevitable. Then you got a wrist guard right here, more textured design. You got the blue and green. You got the yellow outline. You can see a little bit of overspray on here, which is fine for me. Then you got the hand on there. You got open hand, and then the other side open hand as well too. And just with this arm, similar to the other arm in terms of the sculpture design and paint. You got that gray paint on there. Sculpture design there, really feel it. Then you got more sculpture design there, and the guard as well too. Then you got the torso. Very defined abdomen and armor. Nice bright red, blue, green, yellow outline right here with the Darkseid logo on there. You can see it, which I wish it went over it, but it's okay though nonetheless. Very good, clean sculpture design Darkseid, and I gotta say, I like this sculpture. And this is a Spinmasters, which surprisingly enough, it works well with McFarlane, which I'll show you guys in a bit. Way more sculpture design here in the badge. Look at that. Very defined, very sculptured. It looks really good. And for those of you who like to customize, I'm pretty sure some of you can probably do some shadow paint on here, make the figure pop even more. I mean, just, it looks huge, man. This is huge compared to other figures, which I'll show in a bit. And so, overall, the upper body, I gotta say, it looks really good. For the price that you're paying for it, it does look good. It does feel in the cheap side, but again, the pricing is going to be the thing. And with Spinmasters, you're not going to get like high quality because again, it's for the price, mainly for kids, but it looks really good though. So overall, the upper body, I really, really like it. And they did a really good job, man. I really like this figure. Then you have here the belt, or whatever this is called here. It's like a little plasticky, which is fine. Sculpture design there. We got black on there. Very defined thighs. Look at that. Huge thigh. He does not skip leg day. Look at that. Then you got the big, huge legs. Big old boot on there. Look at that. The sculpture design on the calf muscle. Look at this. This is huge, man. Very, very textured and very, very thick sculpted legs on there. And when I'm about thick sculpt, you can really feel it right here. You can really feel that sculpture design. And let's see if Darkseid does squats. He does squats. So there you go. You got more texture on there too. You got that blue on here on the outline. Then you have here on the center as well too. Same color as that as well too. And I gotta say, man, this is a good looking sculpture design for Darkseid. And again, it reminds me more like a comic old school Darkseid, but it looks really good and huge. Huge when you see it in person. I'm telling you, seeing it in the video or pictures, you think, oh, okay, it looks pretty big. But when you see it in person, you're going to be like, damn, this is fucking huge. And so I really like it. And for the price that I paid for it, top notch. So, of course, the main question is it really worth it? Should you go out and get this figure? Well, the price for it is $30. And like I said in the beginning of the video, for $30, you get Batman, Superman, and you get Darkseid. And so for me, for $30, I think it's a good deal for this particular figure. Because if you think about it, you get 3 figures at $30 for the whole set. Essentially, it's $10 per figure. Even for 30 bucks, I think it's a good looking figure. It does feel on the cheap side and the plastic very hollow-like, so keep that in mind. But I think this works very, very well with other McFarlane figures, which I'll show in a bit. And so for the price that you're paying for $30, I can't say anything bad about it. I mean, $30, you get a good sculpture design figure. Again, it's not high quality, but for a figure or a toy where you can mix it in with McFarlane, I think it's a fantastic deal. And so to me, the Spin Masters Darkseid, or Batman Superman versus Darkseid 3-pack gets a thumbs up for me. I really like it. I didn't plan on keeping it, but now that I'm seeing it in person, I think I'm going to keep it. So definitely get one. If you're wanting a more comic-ish Darkseid, this is it for you. If you're going to wait for McFarlane to do a Darkseid, well, you might have to wait because we don't know with McFarlane. But for now, I think this is a good deal for the price for you're paying for it. You get a good figure. And again, thumbs up for me. Here we have Darkseid from the Justice League wave, the Mega Fig next to Darkseid from the Spin Masters. Just look at the size difference. I think it's huge. I'm telling you, this is huge. But here's the difference though. Yes, this is more money. This is $40. This is $30 for 3 figures. But you have to keep in mind, this has way more better texture, better paint, more articulation. So you are paying more, even though you get a smaller figure, but you are paying more, but you get a way more better looking figure, and it just feels a lot better compared to this one. I'm telling you right now, when you pick this one up, you're going to be like, wow, this is really a toy. It really does feel very hollow. This one has more weight to it. So if you have this Darkseid figure and you want to kind of get an idea, this is like half the weight compared to this. But for the price, though, and for what you're getting, and just look at the size difference. Just look at this. For $30, come on. Here we have the Spin Masters Darkseid next to the Superman, the exclusive, a black and white, which is mainly gray, and a little bit of like a light gray with a red accent, the BBTS exclusive figure. And again, look at the size comparison. This is like a 7-inch figure, 12-inch figure, and it looks really good side by side for this particular figure, which I'll talk about in a bit. Again, for this particular figure, this scales, one, very well, but also two, I think for the paint, it works well. It just, look at the size difference. I'm telling you, when you see this video, you're going to be like, wow, it scales pretty well. But I'm telling you, when you see this in person, you're going to be like, damn, this is fucking huge. Because you know what? It's fucking huge. But here we have Superman next to Darkseid, Spin Masters. Just for even more size comparison, here we have Damian Wayne, I believe his Infinite Frontier figure, next to Darkseid. And I just wanted to show you the comparison in terms of another McFarlane figure. And yes, this is $20. It's a lot smaller, but as mentioned, it does have better articulation, sculpture, and paint. And I think having these two side by side, I think it works well. But there is one problem when you compare these two, when you really analyze it. It's just the texture of it, where this one has way better texture and just looks better quality. This one just looks more like toyetic. I don't remember who said that, but looks more like a toy, which obviously they're both toys, but you get what I'm saying though. But nonetheless, here we have Damian Wayne next to Darkseid. Here we have Superman from the Hush, the gold label McFarlane exclusive figure, next to the Darkseid Spin Masters. Now, as I mentioned when I did a comparison for this one, in terms of the paint, this one we can really tell the quality is a lot better compared to this right away. And that's a bit of a flaw to this figure. I know the pricing, you got to take into consideration the pricing, so you're going to get less quality paint. But when you compare this one to this one just pops more because of the paint. It looks much better and just definitely looks more higher quality. This looks cheap paint. Like if I drop it, it might scuff and then paint get removed. So there's a bit of a downside to this figure. Don't get me wrong, I like this one. I planned on keeping it. I was actually thinking of returning it, but you know what? Having it next to Superman, it scales so well, I'm going to keep it. Even though it has limited articulation, even though it feels cheap and light, even though the paint isn't the greatest, but come on, for the price that you're paying for it, having a huge Darkseid, bigger than this one, the original Darkseid Mega Fig, come on, look at that. Tell me that don't look badass. Here we have Kalibak, the Mega Fig, next to Darkseid from the Spin Masters. And as mentioned with the Superman one, as mentioned with the Darkseid one, when you compare McFarlane figure compared to this one, the Spin Masters, you can definitely see more texture, but way better quality in terms of the sculpture design. Just everything about it looks so much better. Look at the difference. Just look at the paint. Look at the sculpture design. So yes, this is a far better, superior figure, but again, look at the price. This is $40 by itself. This is $30 with two other figures. So you can't really hate on it. I'm talking about this because I want to make it clear, because I don't want people with high expectations when they get this and think, oh my god, I'm going to get this. It's going to be the best thing ever. It's going to look so well. It does look well scaling wise. It does look good. But when you look up close, you can really see the difference. You can really tell which one's the more cheaper one compared to the better quality one. And as you can see here, you can tell right away. This one's a lot cheaper compared to this one. But again, for the price, come on, this is top notch. And the good thing about this one though, this is $30 compared to paying what? I think Storm Collectibles, what? I think $100 or $200 for a Darkseid like this. I don't know about you, but this seems like a better deal to me. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on this figure? Do you plan to purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not only support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of the Spin Masters 3-pack, Batman and Superman vs. Darkseid set, and on to the next one.